Well, let's buckle up and take a short ride, because today's a special day. A very important one that we should never forget the reasons why. Oh, hello there, friend and family. And so you walk up. So you got past Spooky and Mr. Fluffy, which are out and about in the yard. But as you can see, we're in Alice today, and we're going to take a short ride. So if you'd like to come along and sit with Mr. Tom here in Alice as we take that short ride, y'all jump on in, buckle up, no bickering and fighting. And remember, before you sit on each other's laps, to ask permission. And as always, there's lots of room in the rumble seat, aka the trunk. But let's go on over to a special place and talk about a very special day today, on Memorial Day. So yeah, as you can see, we're highly overcast and we're expecting some rain and some more storms. It rained pretty much most of the night. But where we're going? Well, I could have walked there, but with the threat of rain, I thought we'd drive. And we're just going to take a little ride right over here to the Carville Cemetery, which is right across the street from where I live. And as you can see, the flag is at half staff. And why is that? Well, Memorial Day honors and remembers, and for many mourns, those who gave their very lives in defense of our country and to protect our freedoms. Yep, that's right. It's not all about family gatherings and barbecues, though many have them too. And being from a military family, growing up in that, and one that has been a military family ever since even before the Revolutionary War, yeah, my family has lost many members in all the conflicts and wars that our country has faced throughout its history in defense of that flag and everything it stands for. And it's on this day I spend a lot of time, even in the evenings prior to the day, remembering those in my family in whichever war they would never come home from. When I was growing up, I spent a lot of time at funerals with my parents, my father being career military. We attended a lot of Memorial Day ceremonies. We also attended far too many military funerals. The 21 gun salutes, the playing of taps. And every time I hear taps, I do shed tears, because it brings me back to those memories of those funerals in the years gone by. So yeah, I'm quite familiar with what Memorial Day's all about. And every American should be. And we should take that time to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice and gave everything that they had, their very lives, so we could continue to live free. Now, some things you may not know about Memorial Day is that flag there. It flies at half staff to honor them, to remember them, from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. from 12 noon till sunset is supposed to be raised to full staff to show our resilience and what those that fell died for, to continue on. I didn't even know that till here recently. No one ever explained it to me. So maybe it's appropriate that it is overcast and darkened day. It puts us in the proper mood, I think, so we can solemnly remember those who aren't here for those family gatherings and barbecues. In my little small town, and many small towns in America used to have, though they are fewer now, Memorial Day parades. They weren't parades of celebration, but parades of honor, showing those who had fallen. Yeah, there were floats, but they were also adorned with the pictures and the photographs of those that were no longer here. Not sure how the whole barbecue thing started, but I do know, as long as I can remember, once we would return home from whatever ceremony we attended, my father would change out of his uniform. We'd change out of our best clothes, you know, our go to church clothes, and we would get things ready for that family barbecue. In fact, the very first one I ever remember was when I was 13. Now, we had meals, family meals and gatherings up until that time, but it would be on my 13th year that we would actually barbecue, or we actually grilled, because we didn't own a barbecue grill before that time. My father picked one up on his way home from the base. He was serving in the U.S. Army, stationed at Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama. We lived in a small rural community called Monrovia, Alabama, about 3 to 5 miles to the west of Huntsville, in a very nice trailer park, because my parents didn't like living on base. We owned our trailer, and Mountain View was very nice. Paved roads, well-kept lawns, play areas, even a laundromat if you didn't have a washer and dryer to use. And it was on that Friday evening my father stopped by Western Auto. You remember them? And picked up one of those round barbecue grills that stood on, 3 legs. Had the post in the center with the lever that came out to the side where you could raise the grill up and down. Not sure what he paid for it, but he'd bring it home in the box. And that Saturday, we put it together in anticipation of grilling, you got it, hot dogs and hamburgers on Memorial Day for the very first time. We were excited, and so was he. And that's exactly what we did. After we got home, and we all changed our clothes, my mother had made up macaroni salads, potato salads, and we had rolls, baked beans, and we would enjoy those hot dogs and those hamburgers. My father would tell stories that he knew of those that were no longer with us, that had fallen in battle, from the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, and what have you. Those were the days. We celebrated similarly with my little small family. Was living here in Tallahassee. The kids were growing up. Memorial Day was a day of remembrance, as well as a day of celebration too. That resilience to continue on, to preserve what all those brave men and women had fought for and died for. So we as a country and as a people could continue on. And out throughout this cemetery here, where we now sit, there are buried the fallen from the Civil War and onwards, all the way to Afghanistan and Iraq. Maybe we'll see as we drive around some of the graves adorned with our beloved flag. But I've got my alarm set for 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. today, Eastern Time. Because another thing you might not know is that when all Americans are encouraged to stop what you're doing and take a moment of silence. And come 2 p.m. Central Time, when my alarm goes off, regardless of what I'm doing, whether in the country kitchen or outside with the kitty crew, I'm going to stop. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to remember all those, not only in my family, but all Americans that are no longer here, because they gave it all to make sure we were. And I'll make a small prayer for them, their families, and our country, and all of you, my friends and family, that we continue on. And so, we honor them. We remember them. And we make sure everything they fought for was not in vain.